numbers and win lots of exciting prizes. Don't forget to play before 5 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Dial *266# or download the iOS and Android apps on mega6lotto.com to play. Mega 6 Lotto is approved and regulated by the National Lotteries Authority. Let's begin from some outstanding matches in the Ghana Premier League. And today, Heart of Lion to play against Accra Heart of Folk at the Hohoi Sports Stadium. That is the first of the two outstanding games that will be coming up. Well, Heart of Folk was supposed to play against Heart of Lion at the Sogakope Wafa Stadium about 4 weeks ago, but due to the Kosombo Dam spillage, the motorable communication routes to the stadium were not accessible, and the GFA had to reschedule the game. So he's coming up this afternoon at the Hohoi Sports Stadium. Mediama SC, however, will host in Swatreman at the Takwa Akun Park, but this game is on Thursday. Yes, they expected to kick off at 3 p.m. There wouldn't be any live telecast of the two games that will be played. Now moving on, Kumasi Asante Kotoko SC head coach Dr. Prosper Nate Ogun believes that the team needs to revamp the squad to be able to perform at expected levels. Kotoko have been winless in the last 4 games.
Yeah, I think the first one was about the first question. Yeah, I think as the team moves on, as we move on, definitely we need to augment certain positions. So that one is obvious. We'll augment the team. We'll strengthen the team. But now it's obvious about everybody's performance. So we augment the team. About the second half performance, as I told you the last time, you see, the game is such that if you have energy and you have chances and you don't convert them and you concede, normally it's psychological. The energy drops from nowhere. Not that they don't have the energy and not that they don't want to play in the structure. Sometimes when you concede and you are playing the second half, you are in a haste trying to equalize. And once you are in a haste trying to equalize, sometimes it disorganizes your structure. And when your structure is disorganized, it's very difficult to play as a solid team, as a compact team. To me, I think it's because most of the time we are in a rush to score in the second half. That's why it happens that way. Thank you.
Well, that is from Dr. Prosper Nate Ogun giving reasons why his team hasn't been performing. Kotoko have just recorded 10 points from 9 games. Well, possible that is 27 points. They only have 10, so 17 points lost there by the Porcupines from 10 games. Now moving on, the Ghana women's football strategy was unveiled yesterday with the mascot known as a Santoa becoming the blueprint enabling the GFA to aim for national team success, elevating the standards of local leagues, changing the perceptions about women football, and also being able to establish a strong, appealing brand to the entire world. Additionally, it's supposed to provide opportunities and education for women involved in football. Here is Amabrobe Williams, who is the head of football development at the women's football development at the GFA.
This month, we are starting our women's football campaign. Okay. And what that is raising the awareness for women's football, targeting everyone outside the football ecosystem. It's very easy. Women's football is loved by all our stakeholders.
Yes.
So we want inclusivity and we want diversity. So we are focusing on those that are not actually in the football sector. We are bringing them in.
Okay. So that is Amabrobe Williams. But the grassroots football holds a central role in the GFA strategy as it aims to increase the number of female players. It involves implementing structured programs to be able to transform the landscape of women's football in Ghana. Ama believes that the fundamentals need to be fixed if they want to achieve their long-term success.
So as part of the grassroots strategy, we collaborated with Ghana Education Services, and they gave us permission. They approved that we can enter the schools to introduce football to girls. So we are starting from the basics, from 5 years old or 6 years old, whatever primary school is, 12-year-olds, before they enter JHS. Okay. We have to fix it. And the reason why it's so important is because when you look at the men's structure, we have it, so just imagine it in your head. We have the code system. Yeah. We have Division 3. We have Division 2, Division 1, and the Premier. Now, with the women, they start playing at Division 1 professionally. So you ask yourself, what's happening? What we need to close that. Yes, we need to close that gap. It's very important. And that's why everybody needs to be patient when we are fixing the fundamentals. Imagine starting to fix this from scratch.
Okay.
You know, and waiting for us to be winning all the national team. I mean, it's a process that we need to be patient. Okay. We have to build it right.
Well, there needs to be the right moments to make sure that women football develops. So that is Asantewaa. Yes, I'm empowering her. That is the mascot that is going to represent the Ghana women's football strategy. The fearless, Asantewaa. Well, but the technical head, assistant coach of that is the Black Princess, believe that this is going to help them. Anita Reduminta.
When you talk about the fundamentals, it's all about the grassroots, and we are looking at developing the youth, and the Black Princesses are part of the youth. So we have plans in place for the Black Princesses as well, and then even the lower divisions up to the U15. So it's all in the plan.
It's all in the plan. That is the assistant coach for the Black Princesses of Ghana, Anita Reduminta, there giving us bits and pieces of how this is going to help the national women football teams as well. Very important strategy. Hopefully it yields the best of results. Now moving on to the UEFA Champions League. Some matches came up yesterday. Shakhtar Donetsk from Ukraine defeated FC Barcelona by 1-0. Well, that was a very disappointing performance from FC Barcelona. Borussia Dortmund defeated Newcastle 2-0. Atletico Madrid from Spain thrashed Celtic from Scotland 6-0. Lazio 1, Feyenoord Rotterdam 0, and there was Red Star Belgrade from Serbia losing 2-1 to Leipzig. That is where Ghanaian star Osman Bukhari plays. So unfortunately, he's been booted out of the UEFA Champions League. Hopefully, he manages to get a place in the Europa League. But Manchester City also defeated Young Boys from Switzerland by 3-0, and FC Porto from Portugal also defeated Royal Antwerp from Belgium by 2-0. AC Milan in Italy, a very good victory for them, defeating Paris Saint-Germain 2-1. Olivier Giroud, Rafael Leao getting the 2 goals to make sure that Milan's Cranius opener wasn't enough to down them. Now, after 17 consecutive wins in the UEFA Champions League, Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola is delighted that the citizens have qualified after just 4 games and also winning 17 games on a bounce.
Yeah, go through. The most important first step is done. Now we have to finish first the second one. The most difficult thing is belief that the people think all the time will be easy and make it right. So it's not easy football. So we have done many good times, many good things. The last game in artificial pitch against them, and this is a physical team, and we did a performance. We didn't concede absolutely anything, and we create a lot of chances. We were not as soft or sweet or, for the final third, the last touch. But the performance, the consistency, do the uncomfortable things that every football game require, still we are doing.
Pep Guardiola, there's 17 games without a loss. 4-0, 2-1, 5-1, goalless draws against Dortmund, and then Bayern Munich. He had also a 3-1 victory over Sevilla, 1-0, 7-0. Defeated Real Madrid 4-0, and also Young Boy 3-0, 3-1, RB Leipzig 3-1, all in the process of the 17 consecutive games without a loss in the UEFA Champions League. But there was also one record that was broken last night. Pepe, who as a Portuguese defender, became the oldest scorer in the UEFA Champions League's history. He's 40 years, 254 days, and he's still playing actively in the UEFA Champions League. So Pepe there with a very good record, and many will ask him, why is Pepe still playing? He is the captain of FC Porto and getting some very good results for his team. Now moving on to matches coming up today. Sociedad from Spain will play against Benfica at 5:45. There is also Napoli against Union Berlin also at 5:45. Copenhagen play against Manchester United. Bayern Munich play against Galatasaray. Inter Milan will travel to Austria to play against Red Bull Salzburg, and there is Real Madrid welcoming Sporting Braga from Portugal to Spain. Arsenal will host Sevilla at the Emirates, and then PSV Eindhoven from the Netherlands play against Arsenal from France. Now, Thomas Tuchel has spoken on the immediate impact of Harry Kane at Bayern Munich as he expects him to get a very good game against Galatasaray this evening.
If you work with him on a daily basis now, and his personality and his love for the game and the love for the sports and the way he practices, and that he is a footballer at heart, and that it's just great to see, and it's gonna stay that way. We had a bit of banter. We said that he's doing the things he always did in the past, only But he's a great personality, a great sportsman, and he's at the right place now, and it's not the end.
It's not the end. Yes, there's a lot more expected from Harry Kane. Now to Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta says he wants his side to be very fruitful in front of goal against Sevilla from Spain this evening.
The moment you have a chance in football to put it to bed, do it. We're going to have to do a lot of things right tomorrow and then the right to win it against a really good team with enormous experience in this competition. And we have to prove it tomorrow in front of our people, how excited we are to play that game and what it means for us. I stand for the same words that mistakes are part of football in any other way. And we are here to constructively improve the game in everything that we can. And this is what we have been doing. As a club, me individual with my duty as a manager in the managers meeting to give our opinion, our voices, and to raise it in the most constructive ways to get a better game. That's all. That's the only thing that we are looking, I think, collectively to achieve everybody. That's it.
We've spoken...
Well, that is from Mikel Arteta expecting a very good result. Manchester United would have a very tough game this evening as they play away at FC Copenhagen. Erik ten Hag believes that his players are more experienced to cope with the hostile environment in Denmark.
We're looking forward, and this team is experienced hostile. And so, for instance, last year Barcelona, and we can get good performances and we can get good results. We know that. And in which formations they have to go into. But finally, it's up to the players also to find solutions because an opponent can do different things. Then they have to find different positions, and then they have to make decisions on the ball. And so, between the player who has the ball and who has to receive the ball, decision making on the ball, movement off the ball.
Erik ten Hag there. Now staying with Manchester United. Well, forward Alejandro Garnacho will not be charged for using the gorilla emojis in the social media post. According to the Football Association, the 19-year-old used the emojis alongside a photo of him and teammate Andre Onana following the side's victory against Copenhagen in October. The FA said it was satisfied with the Argentine's explanation and the context it provides. Onana previously called for Garnacho to face no punishment, saying that the player reminded him of his responsibilities and therefore nothing of that sort derogatory was tried towards him. Now moving on, Tottenham Hotspur forward Richarlison is said to have a pelvic injury and needs a surgery to correct it after suffering for 8 months. The Brazil international 26 started 7 of Spurs' first 10 Premier League games this season, but was an unused substitute in Monday's loss to Chelsea. Richarlison, who signed for Tottenham from Everton for £60 million in July 2022, said, "The time has come to rest. The last few months haven't been easy for me. I've also been suffering with my health," he told ESPN Brazil. "I've already spoken to the doctors and I'll soon have a surgery on my pubis." Now moving on, Real Madrid have also renewed the contract of young France midfielder Eduardo Camavinga until 2029. Camavinga, 20, came to Real in 2021 from Stade Rennais and is a regular starter with now 114 games for the Los Blancos. He has won 6 trophies with them in his first 2 seasons, including the Champions League and the Spanish La Liga. It was the 3rd contract renewal at Real within 80 days after forwards Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo were tied to the club until 2027 and 2028. Now moving on to Italy, Fiorentina have been given a suspended 1-match stand closure for racist chants funds directed at 3 Juventus players in the Serie A. Well, this in the statement from the Serie A said that hardcore Fiorentina fans in the Cava Fiesole section of the Stadio Artemio Franchi in Florence racially abused Dusan Vlahovic, Moiskin and Weston McKennie before and after Sunday's 1-0 home defeat to Juventus. Now Serie A said the punishment will be suspended for a year, but that the stand will be closed for a match showed fans racially abused players during that period, with another sanction also to be inflicted for any new offense. British referee Anthony Taylor will return to the Premier League to referee Sunday's game between Chelsea and Manchester City. The referee did not officiate a top-flight fixture last weekend, instead taking charge of a match in the Championship for the first time in 4 years after giving Newcastle a controversial penalty in their 2-2 draw with Wolverhampton Wanderers. On Saturday, Taylor refereed Preston North End's 3-2 win over Coventry City, the first time he had refereed in the second tier since 2019 and was involved in another controversial penalty decision. The 45-year-old ruled that Carl McFadden had brought down Militin Osmachik in an area, but replay showed otherwise. While Chelsea, who are 10th in the Premier League, will host leaders Manchester City at the Stamford Bridge on Sunday. Finishing off with some managerial sack, and Al Ittihad have dismissed former Tottenham Hotspur manager Nuno Espirito Santo, according to them, for a poor run-off result. Under the Portuguese gaffer, Nuno was under pressure because of their struggles in the Saudi Pro League, and the club brought down an axe following a 2-0 defeat to Air Force Club of Iraq in the Asian Champions League. On Monday, Nuno enjoyed a successful spell as Wolves Wanderers boss from 2017 to 2021, in charge of Jeddah-based Al Ittihad since July last year. So Karim Benzema, N'Golo Kante, and the rest of all the other stars will have a new manager. That'll be all for sports this morning. Thanks to Mega 6 Lotto. 6 numbers can change your life. What would you do if you won 1 million Ghana cedis today? Select from 49 numbers and become a mega winner, winning lots of exciting prizes. Play before 5 p.m. every Monday to Saturday. *266# is the number to dial, or download the iOS and Android apps on mega6lotto.com to play. Mega 6 Lotto is approved and regulated by the National Lotteries Authority. Sunrise continues. My name is Kelvin Owusu Ansah. As always, DJ Abiam is here to serve you with some fine tunes before that.